My name is Adam Lyons. I am joined by Aryan and Mark.
What's up? What's up?
We are back for another episode of the Unica podcast. This one's not going to be as long as our Emilia Romagna. Imola, or the whatever the hell name it was.
The race of the tractor got 4 and 5.
We're done with that joke. It's not going to be as long as that because the race wasn't exciting. But if you haven't figured it out, we are reviewing the Portuguese Grand Prix, a race that was a mix of emotions for myself. But that's because my driver's fighting for the championship and not qualifying 9th and 10th or wherever for I qualified.
Hey, no, it was like 6 and 8. Hold on.
Oh, 6 and 8 though.
6, whatever.
It was something.
No, it was something.
And
I like how he's got a McLaren hat on.
Yeah,
but
Mark,
he supports Ferrari.
You're a Ferrari team.
This is my brother's hat. I
deserve that hat. I've got a normal hat.
It's a first thing. I'm not even wearing a hat.
Yeah, you gotta get with the times, Adam. This is a hat only podcast. Go get one.
I will.
Go get a hat.
I will for the next episode. But anyway, if you actually want to know if I'm wearing a hat, check us out on YouTube. We are back on YouTube with a fresh look. You can finally see our beautiful faces. A little bit of a F up on my part. Last podcast, I streamed us on Twitch. Went to download the video, forgot to click the save video for 14 days, so I couldn't download it. So this is our first one on Twitch. It's going to be streamed on Twitch when we record, which I'll announce every week, and it will be posted on our YouTube. So check us out. Go to our Instagram or just YouTube at the Unica Pod, Twitch at the Unica Pod /Twitch. And yeah, Portuguese Grand Prix race review. What are your guys' general thoughts?
Okay. Let's do a quick 30-second race review.
Yes.
Adam, do you want to start?
Yeah, I start. Max was not on pole. Super disappointing. I really wanted him to lead the championship. Lewis won by 29 seconds, so it felt like a little bit of a flashback to 2020, even though that wasn't a legit 29 seconds.
Yeah.
And track limits, less than 3 or 4 meters cost Red Bull a pole, a win, and a fastest lap. Which was just awesome. Just fucking awesome. I love when that happens to my team.
I like how every single weekend we talk about the track limits.
Yeah.
Like it happened with Lando a week, the last race, I mean. And the same thing with Max today. It's just I think the track limits are being a bit too hard on the driver, especially with this new, like, if you look at the on Thursday and Friday, after FP1 and after quali, Max, Bottas, and Lewis, all of them kept saying, I have no grip, I have no grip, I have no grip.
Yeah, Max is... I agree that the track limits... Like, I don't think it matters where the track limits are, as long as they... The problem is, as long as they pick a place and keep that consistent throughout the entire weekend, and that's kind of what they did in Imola, and that's what they did in... Like Lando, it doesn't matter where those track limits are. Obviously, the further they are out, the faster the driver can go. The further they are out, it doesn't matter, because if Lando goes over that line, whether it's right on the white line or on the curb or wherever, the time should get deleted, which is what happened. And unfortunately, it happened to Max. It was interesting to me, and I thought Red Bull might protest it a little bit, because I wasn't too clear on this. I want to hear your guys' thoughts, obviously, as well. But when in qualifying, Max's time was deleted because he got a snap oversteer going out of that turn 4 up the hill into the back straight, and he went wide, but then he lost 5 100ths, so he lost time.
Yeah.
So,
which I don't get. I get the ruling. I get where the track limit should exist. I get that if a driver goes over it, they should be penalized. But I don't get the ruling behind it. Like, it's so different per race weekend, and that shouldn't be the case, I think.
Yeah, they've kind of figured it out in Imola, and I hope they keep it as consistent as they are now in the future, and I think they will, because Formula One is pretty good at learning from their mistakes and making changes.
Totally.
Like, they have drastic rule changes more than any other sport.
Oh my god, every year, yeah.
The rules of cricket and the rules of soccer and hockey have stayed the exact same, pretty much, with a couple of small changes to.
There's some small things, but that's with every sport. Yeah,
but it's never like, oh, we're gonna make the hockey rink twice as big, and oh well they can't, and so. But when Max Verstappen went over the line, he lost time, so I was a little surprised he got his lap time deleted. But those are the rules, and he shouldn't have had to snap an oversteer. That was just kind of unfortunately his. But just awesome. I just love when I see Lewis Hamilton. I was so mad watching the race, just seeing Lewis win, especially over Max. All right,
I remember watching it. With the boys, and like as soon as Lewis overtook Valtteri, I think it was, for P1 at the beginning of the race, I'm like, okay, he's winning this. He's gonna storm off ahead. He's not gonna be in the race anymore, and it's gonna be a Lewis win.
We could talk about that later because I have some comments on that, and Mark, you've heard a few of mine because I texted you.
I got a text this morning.
Angrily this morning. But first, Mark, 30 seconds. Review the race. What is your general? Boom, 30 seconds. Go.
I thought it was kind of boring. It kind of happened exactly how I expected it to happen. You know, this whole year is going to be a Mercedes one.
No.
Consistently with Max in the middle.
I don't think that's true.
Ah, man, come on. What do you mean?
I feel Mercedes are less dominant than they were last year, at least.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Guaranteed win.
No, absolutely. They're substantially. They're less dominant, but it's gonna. Your top three are gonna be your top three pretty much all season because Checo's good, but he's not like. He's been kind of where he's supposed to be, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
For me,
for the first year,
not
I think.
Yeah, he's not underperforming. He's not overperforming. And Valtteri is Valtteri, so he's not very good. So I think you're going to see, obviously it's racing, so anything can happen. But you're going to see a Max Lewis 1-2 almost every weekend.
I assume so.
With a Valtteri 3, probably, or a Checo, or who knows, throw fucking Lando. Could be Stroll, could be Leclerc. Yeah, it could be, I don't know, whoever else.
No, not Leclerc. I mean... The tractor in the podium. It kind of won't fit in the podium.
I am done with these jokes. They're doing well. How can you even say that?
They're doing well. But
Ferrari have taken a massive step forward. You gotta give them credit.
They're not supposed to be. What were they today? 6 and 8?
No, they finished 6 and. Sainz finished 11th, but
6 and 11th. They're Ferrari. Supposed to be there.
Yeah, but there are a lot of factors.
Merc is like 6 and 11. If let's say Lewis finished 6th and Valtteri finished 11th, you would say Merc had a bad weekend.
Yeah, there's a different.
Compete for a win. I don't think they're back to where they were.
There are a lot of factors.
No one argued that they're back to the way they were. I just think you need to put a little respect on their name than you are.
There are a lot of factors that determine where Ferrari is right now. Part of it is Sainz. This is his third race in that car. Day and a half of testing. Barely, and they got some good running in, but a day and a half of testing, and that's it. Figuring out a car on a track he's never raced before, besides 1 year. So, and the Ferrari has taken a massive step forward. They got Sebastian Vettel.
Step forward.
Yeah.
Sebastian Vettel left. Sainz is performing exceptionally well, considering this is his third race, and considering where they were last year. They're doing pretty good. They're a third or fourth place team this year. They might fight for third. Fourth place is looking a little bit more realistic for them. But
at the moment, because McLaren's probably going to sit there.
Yeah, and I like that. If Daniel can get a Q1, it broke my heart.
I wasn't watching the call. I was just because I was training, but I couldn't. When I walked out of training and I look at Q1. I see Danny Rick out. I'm like, oh, he must have spun out or something must have happened to damage his lap.
No, it's just slow.
When I looked at the replay, I'm like, he was just slow.
Yeah.
There was no way he was getting into Q2.
When you're driving, this is a track where understanding the car at a level deeper than Daniel Ricciardo will understand that Renault, that McLaren. Is really important because the grip was really bad.
Yeah.
And he just Lando would have just had more control over that car and understood at what point in the corner of each corner isn't going to understeer. He knows the types of corners. He knows the car. So I think he just has more of a knowledge of it, where Daniel just didn't really have that knowledge. He was really struggling on his lap. And I think Zach Brown mentioned this in the broadcast this morning. I think he had poor first sector. He's under pressure, new team, wants to perform, beat his teammate. So he had a poor first sector, got angry, and losing your cool in a sport where you shouldn't lose your cool is really not good. No. And he kind of got a little antsy, tried to brake a little bit later, go a little bit faster in a corner, and all that shit. That just costs you time. You're not making up time because there's a very specific layout they follow and track and speeds they follow, and if you go a little bit over that, then it can bite you in the ass. Unless you're doing it in practice, trying to find the limit. But he's just past the limit, which is unfortunate.
He needs to get up. I think we know he can do it, and I trust he can, and I hope he can do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, he's a race winner. He should be able to do it.
Yeah, he should be. But I didn't think he would be this bad. I knew it would take a few races for him to get used to the car. But
keep in mind it's only the third race of the season.
Yeah, fair. That's what I'm saying. I thought he'd be a little more competitive, looking how competitive McLaren is. If Lando could get a podium last week on his pace, not because of what happened, but on his pace as well.
Yeah, that was all him.
It was all him, all his. He was looking competitive from Saturday. I mean.
Yep.
But I think he needs to step up his game a bit more. But to be fair, it's the third race, and he took a year to get used to the Renault.
Yeah, he finished.
Yeah, give him time.
He finished 7th. He was pretty slow in Bahrain, but he was still he was still up there. But Imola was such a difficult race for all the drivers. So especially look at Sainz. I don't know how the hell Sainz finished 5th. He was off everywhere.
Even Perez, he was. I thought he would compete with the top 3 a lot, or with the Bottas at least a lot more than he did.
The race pace was very poor. Yeah. It came up the tire temperatures, and it was kind of the same thing. Ricardo went for the safer strategy this time around. He didn't go for the aggressive on the softs. He went mediums, which was smart. And it was really difficult for the drivers on mediums, especially last year, but this year as well, to get those tires up to temperature.
Yeah.
And so he struggled in the beginning of the race, but he came back till 11th. I think, 9th. You got points, right?
Yeah, he finished 9th.
Yeah, so getting 8 places and coming up the field, that was a pretty impressive performance from him. He's not going to be in my tops.
Yeah.
But he's not going to be in the flops either.
Yeah, for sure.
So the race, there was not a lot to talk about. Nobody made contact with each other.
Very boring. I'm not going to lie. It's one of the races, to be honest.
Aside from Raikkonen, no one else really made contact at all.
I was about to say that. When the safety car came on, I'm like, okay, something exciting. And then, for the first time, Mazda didn't spin.
Yeah. Finished the race.
Wait, I don't know if you guys saw this.
Congratulations, he finished the race.
He finished it.
Did you guys see he was a whole minute behind Mick Schumacher?
Yeah, he almost got lapped by his teammate.
He got lapped by Mick.
Well, he almost got lapped by his teammate. He got lapped by everyone except for Schumacher and Latifi.
You listeners, you just wait until we get to the tops and flops segment of this podcast. I'm gonna just
number 1 flop. Has a spin.
But
second, Yuki. I'm sorry, Yuki. I know it's a new car. I know he's never driven here before. I know all of that. But I mean, come on.
Yeah, it was a little
off-putting.
Mark's enjoying some ketchup chips.
On the podcast. I haven't eaten at all today, so I was trying to get a little snack, and I'm trying to.
It's if you're listening to this
dinner time where we are.
It's a beautiful 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time that we're recording right now, but
yeah.
So there were some drivers.
So don't mind those. I'm trying to make sure you don't hear them.
We'll get to that. So the start, nothing really exciting happened. Raikkonen just made a rookie mistake. He was not paying attention, didn't realize his speed coming up on his teammate. Lucky he didn't give Giovinazzi a puncture, and just took himself out of the race, which was very unfortunate. I think he might have been able to get back to the pits, maybe, If he was fighting for a
Maybe.
championship, I
Maybe.
think he'd try a little bit harder. But he just went off and then parked in the gravel and was like, all right, this isn't worth it. Which,
The dude's like he just does it for fun.
yeah.
He's said that before, so like he's whatever, man. Like
Took a hobby.
yeah, it's a hobby.
Like,
Like,
hobby. But
I honestly, if I was in his situation, I would have done the same thing.
yeah,
I was like, whatever, man. I'm done. I don't got. I came up. I showed up. I'm not winning this one.
I got the money. I got it. I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you want to pay me to drive a Formula One car around for a year? I'd do it as a hobby too.
I would do for free.
Yeah, I'd pay.
I'll do for free.
I looked into it.
I don't have that much money.
No, I don't think. Not a lot of people in the world have that much money. But
You looked into it, Adam. How did that go? How did that search go?
it's about 15,000 euros to do 4 laps
Holy
in
shit.
Barcelona. So 4 laps.
4 laps in what car?
It was like a 2006 Williams.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Like,
they
you
were
could actually
2000.
drive it.
Yep, you actually drive it around Barcelona.
Oh my god,
That's pretty sick.
Impressive.
it's like 25,000. Holy shit,
Yeah.
Shoot ton of money.
that's
Hey.
stupid.
Hey, if I had that much money to spend, why not?
Oh yeah.
But anyway, besides Raikkonen crashing, the start, it wasn't that exciting. There weren't even any overtakes. There were barely
Apart from
any.
the top 3, I
Not
don't
really.
see. Everything was just a DRS move.
Yeah.
Nothing
I mean,
exciting.
Bottas.
Talk about it, Adam. Come on, give it to us.
So Bottas it's unbelievable to me actually, just how uncompetitive he is. I've been lucky enough to watch Formula One for long enough where I remember like the Nico Rosberg and Hamilton days. That move that Hamilton made on Bottas would have never happened if Rosberg was in that car. It just wouldn't have happened. He
He gave him the
Bottas.
room to legit come overtake me.
Yeah, well, he
He
gave
pinched
him.
himself. He pinched himself.
Yeah,
He put
but-
himself in a spot where he couldn't stop it. And Hamilton's so much quicker than him.
Even on the
in
quicker,
the same car.
even if Valtteri is quicker, why would you choose? That's a rookie mistake. Going down on the right, like squeezing yourself where you have no, because you know he's gonna push you. You know he has DRS. You know he's gonna brake late.
Yeah, but he
Like,
also
even if he misses his apex, he will do it because he needs to be he needs to be first.
I think Valtteri knows what Valtteri is.
Yeah.
And he, to be completely honest with you, I know he says he doesn't, and I know Drive to Survive this year made him look like that's not the case. But I think Valtteri knows what Valtteri is,
I think so
and he's
too.
their
think it's
second
Rocco's head.
driver. He's their
I think
second
it's Rocco's
driver. Like Toto will never admit it. It's the same. The Christian Horner won't admit that Checo is their second driver. They both are. I'm so like if your number one guy is coming through and actually fighting for a championship, you're gonna let him by. And I think that was a way for Bottas to do it semi inconspicuously, but also take some heat.
Totally.
Yeah, that's one kind of theory. The other, it was just a really bad defensive move. I think he thought that Hamilton faked him out really hard though. Like, you should not. You've been driving in the sport since like 2014 or 2013. You should not be faked out that hard by your teammate. Hamilton was coming up behind him. He had a lot of speed on him, but Bottas went down the inside, compromised his racing line, and like you said, he pinched himself, left himself in the corner, gave Hamilton just kind of made a little bit of a move to the middle of the track, then went out, took the racing line, and overtook him in like the easiest move of the century. And then that opens up the can of worms of Verstappen, who, beautiful, he made an overtake on Hamilton. Hamilton, at the start of the race, was struggling really hard with his tires. I thought it was going to be a third place finish for sure. I thought Max was going to win. But Max just... The thing is, Mercedes was so strong in that third sector, and it's such a problem on a track when that back straight is one of the real only overtaking spots on the track.
Yep.
If you guys agree.
Yeah,
There's the back straight as well, where obviously turn 4-ish, where Verstappen made that move when he made his move on Bottas. Or Hamilton, sorry.
Right.
But Yeah, Mercedes is so. Red Bull was really strong in the second sector and in the first as well, but Mercedes was so strong in the third sector that Max would catch up, and then he just couldn't get close enough going around that last complex, like
turn 15,
to get close enough to make an overtake. So he gets just stuck in this vicious cycle of getting close to the third sector, then
pushing back.
Then Mercedes just pushes back, and
so it happened at Turkey as well. I remember seeing, I think it was I don't remember who it was, but when the conditions weren't that great, it could compete the entire lap, and as soon as it got to sector 3, they just had to cool down the tires so much that they had to give up, and they couldn't actually accelerate so much. I think the same thing happened with Max today as well, on the race. That I think he pushed so much in sector 1 and 2 that sector 3, which is practically impossible for him to push even more, and he's gonna ruin the tire that way.
Yeah, and it's just Mercedes. Like, that's the kinds of corners and the kinds of sectors that they really strive at. And so I thought Max Verstappen was going to compromise because his tires were running out by the end of like the lap, because they heat up, and then you get on the straight, and then they kind of cool down a little bit, I guess. But I thought he would go a little bit slower so he could save some tire life for the end of the lap, but that's just not how it worked. But Max did everything that he could this race. And a P2, I'll take P2 and fastest lap, which he got taken away from him. But I'll take that any day of the week.
I mean, his start was absolutely amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Every time, his start is always amazing.
It's fantastic.
The best thing was, did you guys see after the safety car when Valtteri started?
No. I don't think I.
After safety car, Valtteri was like backing up Lewis and Max together, and like they were side by side, and I guess Lewis was focusing on Max being side by side, not letting him by. At that point, Valtteri just sped off, and he gained, I think it was 15 to 20 seconds from that start, and then Max jumped Lewis as well.
Oh, it wasn't 15 to 20
Sorry,
seconds.
15. Sorry, was it? No. It was 1 or 2 tenths, sorry.
Was that 15 or 20 seconds?
Yeah, Lewis.
No. It's 1 or 2 tenths.
Yeah, Lewis really thought that. We can talk about the safety car restart, actually. Lewis really thought that Valtteri was going to go right to the safety car line like he did in the Tuscan Grand Prix.
Yeah.
And he didn't. And Hamilton was kind of caught lacking, and Max wasn't, which was amazing. But
exactly.
Yeah, when Valtteri, but then obviously Hamilton. Yeah. Frustrating.
The frustration's out. The frustration is out.
Well, that was so upsetting to see. That little sigh right there, Adam. broke my heart.
All I want is for Max to lead the championship. I just want to see him at the top of the championship.
For Christmas is Max.
That's all I wanted. Didn't get it. But he's only 8 points behind.
Yeah.
It's not that much.
He was a lot more competitive than last year, so that's a positive sign.
The Algarve circuit, like that track, is also suited to Mercedes, and the cooler conditions also suited to Mercedes. I thought they would struggle a little bit more than they did. It's going to be the same thing in Barcelona. I wouldn't expect great things from Max in Barcelona. I mean, he's going to deliver amazing in Barcelona, but I wouldn't expect great things from Red Bull in Barcelona either, if I'm being honest. It's kind of the same setup. If it's really hot, or Mercedes just can't get the balance right, or they crash, then knock on wood, then it'll be Max's day. But maybe we can have a repeat of 2016 where the Mercedes take each other out of the race safely.
That'd be cool.
Obviously.
That'd be cool. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
That would be sick.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Only if both the drivers are okay, though, obviously. And then Max comes for a win 5 years after his 5 years after his first win, like how Martin Brundle announced Nico Rosberg winning the 2016 championship. 35 years after his father.
That was great.
I watched that race today after watching the race today.
I can reminisce. Bahrain, Belgium, Austria, Hungary. Maybe Hungary. I don't really remember 2016, but pretty much any race. But Yeah.
It was such a great year
2016.
for the sport. Yeah.
Not for nine of the 10 teams though. Good year for Mercedes.
Yeah.
Good year, but every year's.
I think generally like 2016 and when Vettel won to 2011, 2012. The first year he won, that was probably the two best years I've seen of F1.
Like 2010?
Yeah.
The first 20,
Yeah.
one of them. Sorry, 2010 and 11. Like I was watching the 2011 China Grand Prix this morning when I woke up. The one where Mark Webber went from 18th to 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
Like that era of just F1 was so fun to watch.
Oh my god, the grid back 10 years ago was so cool.
Oh yeah.
The 2012 season is one of the greatest seasons of all time. You think of other ones: 1990, 1991, 1989, 1996, 1976. Sorry, like 2007, 2008.
Yeah.
Those years as well, but 2009.
Yeah.
But that 2012 was a great. This is
you had so many different. I'm looking at so I'm on the F1 website right, and I'm looking at like that's the 2012 season. You had so many different race winners.
7.
Yeah.
7 and 7.
7 in the first 8 races, or something like that. Okay, so Button won in Austria, Alonso in Malaysia, Rosberg in China, Vettel in Bahrain, Maldonado in Spain, Webber in Monaco, Hamilton in Canada, and Alonso again in Europe. Like that was the start of the season, and then it was like Webber, Alonso, Hamilton, Button, Hamilton, Vettel, Raikkonen, Hamilton, Button. Is how that went. But that's the start to that season was just ridiculous. Like
amazing.
Yeah, this season will be pretty good. In this race, like I enjoyed the Portuguese Grand Prix probably a little bit more than you two, as McLaren and Ferrari fans. Again, it's just I thought like it was. I just had that little glimmer of hope. Oh, Max is going to catch up to Hamilton. Hamilton's going to get caught up by these back markers.
I just love when Checo was leading. Like I was so happy. I saw P1 Perez. I was like pumping in my seat. I'm like, finally.
He was exactly where Red Bull needs him to be. It was perfect. This is something that Pierre Gasly and Alexander Albon did virtually never. I don't think they ever were in that position where Max pits, Lewis pits, Max is behind Lewis.
Yeah.
Lewis catches up to the Red Bull second driver, and then he can hold him off as Max catches up. It didn't really work. Perez got screwed over by Mazepin. I don't know what the hell happened there. Mazepin he went wide to let him overtake him, and then just completely cut him off. I don't know what was really going on.
I mean, he was a minute behind his teammate, so I don't think he has a liberty to even defend himself.
Well, it was his 5th blue flag too. I don't know how but yeah, the Sergio Perez. That's exactly where he needs to be, and that's exactly where Red Bull wanted to be, which is perfect. A P4 finish doesn't get much better than that for Red Bull. Obviously, like a P3 would be nice as well. P4 finish. He was able to stay out on those softs, keep up with Mercedes as they kind of caught up with him, and was able to hold Hamilton up. Didn't work out today, but it was the right idea. But Hamilton
totally.
But Hamilton was just too quick.
I think now they just need him.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I think now they just need him to compete a bit more with Valtteri.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, he will compete.
Yeah, well, he's only raced in that car for 3 races. Give him time.
Exactly. In 3 races, he's shown a lot more than Gasly or Alex ever did.
P2
as he should. He's a veteran who's been doing this a long time. Who's a race winner, and it is as he should.
Because
Gas is a race winner now as well.
Where Red Bull need him. I've mentioned this obviously just 30 seconds ago, but where Red Bull need him to be is behind Max, holding up Mercedes. He needs to hold off Bottas, or he needs to get where he's like maybe 20 seconds behind, and the pit stop like today. That's the perfect scenario. And then winning a couple races when he can, like getting a couple podiums, getting the points for Red Bull.
Max has a bad day. Compete with the Mercs instead of finishing. P11.
If Max DNFs, he needs to be getting 18 points or 15 points. He needs to be getting a P2 or P3.
Or even P1.
Yeah, or a P1 would be ideal, but if it's like a race where Hamilton's just dominating, it can't be like a Max DNFs and it's a surprise Lando podium. That's not what Red Bull needs. That's what McLaren needs, but Red Bull needs those points. But yeah, so I think Mark, you just mentioned it's a good time to take a little bit of a break and from rambling on about the race and do a Portuguese Grand Prix quiz.
Yes, sir. I have another one lined up.
Special quiz.
I know absolutely nothing about the Portuguese Grand Prix.
Well, you should know a little something because this is a Red Bull. This is a quiz from Redbull.com. So hopefully you know at least something. Okay. Which of these circuits has not hosted a Formula One Portuguese Grand Prix? Is it Estoril, or whatever you say it? I said it with a French accent, sorry. Boa Vista, Monsanto Park, or Braga?
C, because I've never heard of C.
B.
Okay, well, which one you gotta consolidate here.
You go for it. B.
B?
It's you.
Yeah.
Oh, the answer is you're wrong. The answer was Braga.
Okay. I should. They haven't hosted a race in Portugal since 1996.
We're not going to get these so quickly.
What was Max's best time in FP3? Was it A, a minute 15.998, B, a minute 16.812, C, a minute 17.653, or D, a minute 18.905?
D.
D? I'll go with that. Yeah,
that's an easy.
Oh, you're wrong. It was B, a minute 16.
Oh shit!
What position did Alex Albon finish last year in FP3?
Wait, was this FP3 of 2021?
No, this is Portuguese Grand Prix.
So when you said what position did Max what time?
What was it? No, yeah. This is based off of your 2020 numbers. I got this quiz up yesterday.
Mark, you did me dirty on that one. You did me absolutely dirty.
You're welcome.
A minute 16 makes a lot of sense for 2020.
Okay. In what position did Alex finish at FP3 last year? P3, 4, 5, or 6?
I'm going to go P4. Seems like a very P4 type of practice session from him.
All right, Aryan, do you concur?
Concur.
All right, nothing out of him, so we're going to say P4. Ooh, you are wrong again, P5.
Oh, mon dieu.
Get in there, Lewis.
All right, qualifying was delayed by 30 minutes, but why? Was it A, a drain cover required repair, B, new tarmac needed laying, C, animals were on the track, or D, fans had stormed to the track?
It was, I'm trying to remember if it was... there's definitely viewers listening to this podcast. I pretty much say this every question. They're just screaming the answer in their car so high.
Yeah.
Was it a drain cover?
Or the FP3?
I think it was the tarmac.
You think it's tarmac?
Yeah, I think they had to change the tarmac.
Okay,
no, I'm gonna say animal.
Okay, Aryan saying animals, Adam saying tarmac. The answer is drain cover.
Oh.
I was right. Why didn't I stick with that?
I thought they made the drain cover. I thought they made a drain cover change in.
I thought it was Turkey.
Yeah, same here. Maybe they did. I remember Malaysia 2017. They did do it.
Last year, what positions did Max and Alex qualify? P3 and 6, 2 and 4, 3 and 4, or 4 and 7?
No, 4 and 7.
First of all, I remember the Portuguese Grand Prix last year, the qualifying, because I was worried the qualifying wasn't going to take place.
Yeah,
I was watching it.
That was one of our first podcasts.
Yeah, it was our second one, I think.
Yeah,
maybe our first race review.
I'm gonna say 3 and 6.
3 and 6.
Yeah, I was
thinking. What do you got?
I was going to go 3 and 6 as well.
Okay, you guys are correct.
Wow, look at us.
That's your first one. You're 1 for 5 right now.
I'm 2 for 5.
Who did Max have contact with at turn 4 of the opening lap?
No,
Stroll.
Just kidding. Jumped the gun. Thought it was turn 1, FP2. Nope, definitely it was not Stroll. Mark,
was it Stroll, Checo, Sainz, or Norris?
I think it was Checo.
You think it was Checo?
Mm-hmm.
Checo?
Sure.
Checo?
Checo.
It was Checo.
Stroll was
Stroll.
turn.
You guys are 2 for 6.
Stroll was
All right.
turn 1 where he called him an anti-Semitic term. Not so nice.
How many laps did Max complete on his soft tires? Is it 18, 30, 23, or 27?
27.
I'm going to go 23.
All right. The answer is correct, Adam. 23.
Oh,
That's right.
Close.
3 for 3. The goal mark is by the end of this season to beat you in one quiz. Just one quiz.
All right.
And
what number
get perfect.
podium was this for Max at Portugal last year? Was it 38, 39, 40, or 41?
41? I don't know.
I don't think it's 40. I don't think it was 41. Was Portugal early in the season? Yeah, it was.
Portugal was not that early last year. We did a podcast on it.
Oh yeah, it was later in the season. I'm gonna go 40.
40?
Mm-hmm.
All right. The answer is correct. 40th podium. You are now 4 for 9.
4 for 9.
Wow.
No questions.
Just 2 more. Yeah.
Well,
what was the time of the team's fastest pit stop of that day? Was it
1.8. No.
1.83 seconds, 1.86, 1.87, or 1.96 seconds?
0.8.
I think it was
0.8.
Yeah, 0.83.
1.83? You are wrong. It was 1.86 seconds.
Wow.
How many points did Red Bull have after the Portuguese Grand Prix last season? Was it A, 211, B, 221, C, 231, or D, 226?
The D. When in doubt, go
Yeah,
D.
I think 226. Yeah, it was a little bit later.
Oh, you were correct. Congratulations, Adam and Aryan. You guys went 5 for 10 on that quiz, 50%. You got the Algarve average.
Fast.
I'll take a 50%. I'm coming for that 100% though, Mark. I'm coming for it.
Okay. The website that I got this quiz off, thankyouredbull.com, says your score was 5 out of 10. The Algarve average. Well, it's a pass, but you must be disappointed. You know you can do better.
I passed. That's all I care about.
Just like, hey, I might have passed this quiz, but Max couldn't pass Bottas. So,
Wrecking his own teammate.
I know. It really be your own fans.
Yikes.
But
Alrighty, well, that's the quiz I have for you guys today. I hope
wow.
I was specifically targeted at you, Adam. As a Red Bull fan, I was disappointed in your knowledge of exactly how Red Bull did last year.
Well, Red Bull, last time F1 visited Portugal, Red Bull wasn't a team in 1996, before 2020. So, and then you kind of screwed me on that one question where you're like, what's Max's FP3 time? Doesn't specify 2020.
To be fair, he did say previous F1 Grand Prix.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
But
He did say the quiz came out yesterday, so that was after Saturday quality.
So,
to be fair.
Moving on.
No, I got the quiz yesterday. It's an older quiz. It's from last year.
Yeah. So you got it yesterday before the quiz anyway.
Moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on. Let's do the flop and.
Oh, there's still a little bit to talk about. I just.
Go for it.
So. Yeah, but yeah, to sum up, the end of the race, again, nothing really exciting. It was a little interesting, I guess, watching the drivers go for the fastest lap. Like, that was pretty cool to see. Like, I didn't know if Max was going to get it. Got screwed by track limits. I called it as soon as he went over the limits. Like, I saw him go over when I was watching his onboard, and I was like, it's going to be deleted. But besides that, Mick Schumacher. What a race. And by what a race, I mean he didn't spin, didn't crash, and he made an overtake on Markham's very own Nicholas Latifi.
Shout out Toronto boy.
Yep.
He was a minute plus over than his teammate.
Yeah, he's a minute faster than his teammate. That is it was a really solid drive. I actually watched his onboard because I have F1 TV, threw on his onboard for the last like 20 laps, and he was struggling a little bit, but that was just like rookie. You're on old tires. You don't know the track that well, or Formula One.
The first time
cars.
following behind in a Formula One car.
Yeah.
They've never done that before.
And I need to book a therapy session with his race engineer. Like, honestly. Like, it's the most calm, soothing voice I've ever heard. It was...
Apparently, like, Ferrari requested for Mick to have him.
Oh, yeah? Well,
For who?
K-Mag's. He was K-Mag's engineer, I think.
Right.
Wrong. The Ferrari requested him over Nikita has.
Yeah. Well, that race, he felt like he was part of the grid and didn't feel like he was just spinning. I had a little bit more time to kind of focus on him because there wasn't as much action at the front of the grid. But, yeah, just solid race from him. He made a legitimate overtake on Nicholas Latifi, which was really cool to see. It was a sick move.
Yep.
It wasn't really actually a sick move. I was thinking of his round the outside attempt in turn 5. But this was Nicholas Latifi feeling the pressure for 18th place. Locked up, had a massive lockup.
Oh, buddy, listen, let me tell you something. Okay? If you don't feel the pressure even trying to get 17th place over 18th place, then you shouldn't be in that sport. So I believe that...
Sad. He got overtaken by Haas. Like, I mean...
Yeah, that's not a good day for him.
Bad can your day actually go?
Another bad day for someone was...
His day... Hold on, let me just say one thing. I don't think his day actually was that bad because then he got to go home and take a shower in solid gold because that's how much money he's worth. So, realistically, he could spend his whole life not winning a single race and he would be fine because at the end of the day he could go home and still be super loaded. Just gonna throw that out there.
I don't think that's really what he's in Formula One for. I
think Nikita might be.
I think
Nikita might do that, but Latifi, I think he's a nice guy.
I think
he is a nice guy.
Waking up every day. Nicholas Latifi has taken a massive step up since last year. I've noticed in just testing, and then the first 2 races. This race, not so much. He really struggled to figure out the track, but a lot of people struggled. Lance Stroll really struggled, and a lot of people did very well. Esteban Ocon did fantastic. Vettel, Q3 appearance from him. That's amazing. Ocon qualified like 6th, 8th or something. He was way up there. That was fantastic.
He qualified 6th, yeah.
So, an exceptional, pretty
also,
decent.
Alonso finishing P8 was pretty nice to see, getting back on the points.
Mm-hmm.
I'm excited for next weekend, for the sole reason that it's going to be Alonso in Spain again.
Yeah.
Are they having people on that go?
I am not entirely sure.
I'm looking that up right now.
Yeah, it was a great weekend for Alpine.
Yeah, it was
probably one of the best weekends they've had this entire season.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, 3 races. There's not a lot of good bad weekends to pick
I mean,
from.
I think one. Yeah, but
no
like.
thanks to Spain. Wait.
Is this Spain in lockdown? I thought it was lockdown.
No, Spain's not in the lockdown right now.
Never mind that.
But I'm seeing something from February that says it is open to fans, but I'm also seeing something from April that says no fans again. So I'm gonna read quickly. I'll come back to
see the Silverstone Grand Prix as friends. At least I can go to that. Excited for that.
But summarize the race. Vettel, good race. A lot of people had some decent races. Kind of a typical race. And now we're going to move into our segment, Tops and Flops, where if you haven't listened to our podcast before, we picked the top 5 drivers and the bottom 5 drivers, rank them, and list them and rank them, give them a ranking out of 10.
Yeah. And
we always start with the worst drivers.
Can we all agree? 1, 2, 3.
Mazepin. Yeah.
Exactly. No, there was nothing to say more than that. And if I'm being honest, I think the second's Ricardo.
Yeah, Ricardo. Yeah. I mean, he had a decent race.
Yeah, but you don't just. I don't think in McLaren it's like saying like if not Lewis, it's saying like Science qualified P16. You wouldn't accept that, would you?
No, I would not.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
But
I don't think there's going to be fans next weekend, by the way, in Spain, which is really depressing.
yeah, I would definitely. I would obviously, Mazepin, worst driver, 2 out of 10.
That's generous.
He finished and he didn't spin, and Formula One cars are difficult to drive, so I'll give him a 2.
Okay, fair enough.
All right, so
I respect your generosity towards him.
In our second,
it's a 1.
Yeah, like Ricardo.
4.55.
Bad qualifying. You know what? If we're judging them on the race, though, like you kind of have
McLaren has that much space, that much pace. Because
You still there?
Oh, you're muted.
Oh.
Hello.
Oh, there we go. He's back.
Sorry.
Aryan just went out to the concession stand, stepped out like Mazepin's rear end steps out.
Exactly.
He had a smoke real quick. He's back.
Yeah. What I was saying is like Lando managed to stay in front of Leclerc. He was finished 4 or 5 seconds ahead, if I'm not mistaken.
But Ricardo, I wouldn't really
5 something like that, seconds ahead, something like that.
I wouldn't really put Ricardo. Who I'm gonna put in that fourth, like the second worst of the weekend is Raikkonen. Just terrible.
Oh yeah, I found Raikkonen. Forgot about him.
Horrible performance from him.
Like 4 seconds ahead of. Sorry, I'm coming back at you. 4 seconds. Okay.
Cool.
Yeah, Raikkonen. You run into the back of your teammate, completely your fault. Teammate didn't do anything wrong. Rookie mistake, knocking yourself out of the race, and the possibility of maybe picking up a point is just not good. Raikkonen, at least Mazepin finished the race. He might have been a minute behind his teammate in 19th, but he finished.
Yeah.
So but then the number 3.
Well, to be fair, that also might be because he wasn't battling anyone for the majority of the race because he was blue flagged enough times that he just had to let them go by.
Yeah,
exactly.
Which slows you down a lot. But yeah, number 3, Ricardo.
Danny Rick. Yeah, easy.
And you were
number 4.
Danny Ricardo. I'll give him a 4 out of 10. They're terrible qualifying.
Number 4, Yuki. No, I would say number 3, Yuki. I'm sorry.
Well, number 4, I was gonna give to.
Qualified bad and had a bad race.
Fourth worst.
Danny Rick had a decent race.
I was gonna give it to Stroll. He got knocked out in Q1 or 2. I forget. Just absolutely nowhere, and his teammate qualified.
Do you think Danny Rick had a worse weekend than Stroll? In my opinion, I would say no.
Weekends, I think his expectations were a little bit higher, so it hurt a
Danny
little bit more.
Rick did pretty well in the race.
Yeah, if we're talking about
16th to 9th, but quality he shouldn't have been there at all.
Yeah, if we're talking about race, like the racing only, then I wouldn't even put Ricardo on that list. I would put
weekend wise.
Let me find my list. I would put so I think if we do it race only, it would be Mazepin worst, Raikkonen second worst, and then I would put Stroll.
Yeah.
Then Ricardo. Sorry, not Ricardo. Then Vettel.
Yuki.
Then Russell.
I think Vettel had a good weekend. Getting P10. What about Yuki? Yuki had a shit weekend.
No, Vettel.
Yeah, but to be honest, that is the place for Aston Martin. Because Danny Rick didn't qualify as high as he did.
I don't necessarily agree with you that that's the place for that Aston Martin.
Not competing with the likes of McLaren and Ferrari. I don't think they're quick enough.
Yeah, they would be marginally behind, but he finished behind Giovinazzi and Pierre Gasly, which
I feel Yuki Tsunoda had a worse weekend than Vettel. That's for sure. Because at least Vettel outperformed his teammate in quality and in the race.
Yeah, Yuki Tsunoda. I'm just looking at the results right now. Yeah, Gasly qualified P9. Yuki Tsunoda's 14th, but Vettel P10 to P13. I guess isn't a terrible weekend. So yeah, I'll put So Mazepin worst of the weekend,
Yeah.
Raikkonen, then Ricardo, then I would put Stroll, or Sonoda, and then Russell. Russell had some problems with his car. I'm not entirely sure. I kind of forget what those problems were. He did have issues with the car.
A balance issue or something.
Throughout the race.
Not mistaken.
There's so many things that can go wrong with those cars, but qualifying P11th to P16th.
Yeah, not great.
And he just wasn't really anywhere. So I think those are the 5 worst. If I was to put a 6th person in this list, Bottas. You finished on the podium, but you just got trounced by your teammate. It should just not be that bad.
But that happens every weekend. Mm-hmm. He has a bad weekend every weekend, or at least it seems that way nowadays.
But I'm not giving him any leeway
because he's bad all the time. Fair enough.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Yeah.
And Hamilton. Before we get onto our tops and flops, can we talk about how Hamilton? This is the part of the race that really kind of annoyed me.
I do not want to talk about Hamilton anymore. I'm fed up of how he keeps winning. Sorry, continue.
His wins are deserved, but I'll bring it up. He was just like, guys, I'm struggling on these. My rears are toast. My tires aren't working, and then he just absolutely gets on rails. He was going faster than anyone on the circuit. Fastest lap. It was just sad. Every single time he does it, it's always like, yeah, guys, Bono, my tires are gone, or Bono, my tires are toast, or Bono, I can't feel my legs. Bono, the diff is off. My brakes are cold. Whatever, and then he just pumps out fastest laps. So,
dude, every race that guy's not supposed to win, he wins.
Yep. This one, I kind of expected him to win, though. I did expect him to win this race.
Yeah, but you were talking about earlier in the podcast how at one point you thought he was going to finish third, and then he just pulled it out of his ass. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Every race he's not supposed to win, he wins. He's incredible.
It took him to be in that position.
It took him a while.
Deserves to be there.
Oh, for sure, he's the greatest driver.
He's the greatest.
Time.
Yeah.
And he's still racing. He's the LeBron. He's
one of the greatest.
If you follow the NBA, he's the LeBron James to Michael Schumacher's Michael Jordan.
Yes. Yeah.
Basically.
There's no real comparison. But yeah, Hamilton, just an unbelievable weekend from him, and just a little. It was just a little bit of that. He's gives you that glimmer of hope that maybe Verstappen might win and then steals it from you. But moving on, so my fifth best driver will be my number 5 is Alonso.
Number 4.
Yeah, he had a great weekend. I'm with you, Adam.
Yeah, so are we all agreeing? Number 5, Aryan has left.
Hello.
There he's back.
I'm here. I was just silent.
He just went out for the birth of his child.
Yeah.
Just real quick.
Real quick.
But yeah, number 5.
I would say number 5 Alonso, number 4 Ocon.
I was gonna say number 4 Norris.
Good weekend. I would put him on.
Yeah, I agree with you.
I think just because we expect it from him, it doesn't mean that he's gonna do it. I think, seeing where his teammate finished at least, and then he was around 10-12 seconds away from Perez, which isn't too bad if you look at the context of the race.
But Ocon qualified. Yeah. Ocon qualified 6th to Alonso's 13th.
Yeah, Alonso had a great. I would switch up Ocon and Alonso.
But Ocon finished P7, only getting overtaken by Leclerc, where Alonso. I would switch. Perhaps there were a lot of guys that had pretty solid races. I think I'd put Norris at number 5. I'd give him I think a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, same.
And then
I agree with you.
Alonso coming from 13th to finish right behind your teammate by 1 second. I think it was 1 second. That's number 4. Ocon, great qualifying. I know we don't really count the qualifying, but Ocon number 3.
I think we could. I mean, we're looking at the weekend overall anyway. Because your qualifying performances affect the race performance anyway, doesn't it? So I think, I would say Norris 5, 4 Ocon, 5 Alonso. Sorry, 3
you went back
Alonso.
up.
Sorry.
Right, well, I think we're gonna have to.
It's like midnight for me. I'm a bit sleepy, but
agree to disagree on that.
5 Norris.
Then
5
Norris. I'd put Alonso number 4, Ocon number 3. I'd give Ocon like an 8 out of 10. Alonso 8 out of 10 as well. Norris 8 out of 10. Oh, Norris had an amazing qualifying, absolutely miles ahead of his teammate. Really solid race. To bring home P5.
Yep.
He wasn't there with the Perez, Bottas, Verstappen, Hamilton group, but he was better. He was the best of the rest. He was in front of everyone else. So solid race from him. Number 2, Verstappen. The car just didn't have the car. He did blow his qualifying a little bit. That was his fault. And he did ruin his fastest lap. But he kept up. And I think he really got everything out of that car. And if he qualified in pole, he probably would have been overtaken by the Mercedes anyway.
Exactly.
So 8 out of 10 as well, I think.
8 out of 10. Yeah, for sure.
And number 1.
And then I would say 2 Max, number 1, of course. The one and only
Lewis
Hamilton. Get in there, Lewis.
What else is new?
Lewis is another day, another tires being gone by Lewis.
Another day, another Bono. My tires are gone. Bono, we did it. I can't believe it.
But that's pretty much it. We did our tops and flops. Did a quiz. Do you guys have anything else you want to talk about what happened in the race? I think we pretty much covered everything that was important.
We summed it up.
I think we got everything.
Very well.
I think we got everything.
Right, we're good. So moving on.
Quick prediction for the Spain Grand Prix.
Moving on. You know what? I think we should start that as well. We're going to introduce this. Like, we kind of messed around with it, but we're going to really
real quick
do it. So predictions. So 2 predictions each. Aryan, what are yours?
I'll start 2 predictions.
I gotta write mine down.
Okay. 1 controversial, 1 normal. Fair? Okay. I expect to see Valtteri Bottas on the top step of the podium. Right? And the normal one, Perez will be a lot closer to Max.
Interesting. Mine are sort of similar, and when I mean similar, I mean the complete opposite. Bottas will not finish in the points.
Ooh.
DNFs count. I firmly believe he's going to DNF, or he just won't finish in the points. That one's really probably not going to happen. I think he'll finish in the points, and Max P2. I want him to win. You know, I'm going to change that. Scratch that last one. Max P1. Max will win the race. Bottas not in the points.
Okay.
Mark, what are yours?
My controversial one is I think we're going to have. I'm going to go real controversial. I'm going to say Alonso podium in Spain.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
That's real controversial. I don't think it's going to happen by any means, but, let's have a little fun. And what I think actually could happen is I think we're going to see a very similar grid to what we normally see. In what I mean by that is it's going to be Hamilton, Max 1, 2, and then Perez 4 area. Who knows what happens? Maybe we see a Norris take P3 or a Leclerc take P3, someone of that nature, but it's going to be normal. I think that's my normal prediction. Is it's going to be a normal race.
So is the prediction just going to be Ham bot Ver?
Yeah.
Or bot Ham Ver or Ver bot Ham, whatever. Hamilton, Bottas, and Verstappen on the podium.
Yeah, that's my normal prediction basically. And who knows? Maybe we throw in a little sauce for P4. Yeah. But other than that, normal prediction. But Alonso.
I just pray that we have an exciting Grand Prix. That's all I pray for.
Alonso P3 next weekend. You heard it here first.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything. I don't think that's what's gonna happen.
No, I'm not gonna say anything.
All right. So Moving on, two big things happened in the past week. One of them, Canadian Grand Prix was canceled. You just couldn't get the money. Really sucks. It is what it is. But the second thing, you listener, you probably already have heard of it. If you haven't and you would like to read about it, check us out on our website at www.theundercutpod.ca. We wrote a blog about it that just kind of talked about this topic, which I should mention, sprint races. F1 approves Saturday sprint races at 3 venues in 2021. Silverstone is one of them.
Yeah.
Wait, so what are your guys' thoughts?
I like it, but it won't change anything. Oh, I'm the opposite. I love the idea of sprint races. I'm very excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, don't think like the teams like Williams, Alfa Romeo. I think it's gonna change up their order that much unless we have a crazy sprint where someone spins out or something. I like that there's less practice.
I think it adds a little bit more excitement to the weekend rather than just normal
I love the idea of it. I just don't know how effective it will be.
What do you mean how effective it'll be? It's just gonna happen. It'll be.
No, I mean the idea of it is to stop the Red Bull dominance, right? It's
no, but that's not. No, I don't think that's gonna happen. I just think it's gonna add a little bit. Like, it's gonna add a level of something else to the weekend.
Yeah, the idea behind it is to shake up. Is to add more entertainment for fans for the weekend,
which is exactly what it's going to do.
Yeah, so how it will lay out. Friday will be an hour-long FP1 session, and then a normal qualifying on Friday. Saturday, an FP2 session with a 100-kilometer sprint race, and then Sunday will be the full-distance Grand Prix.
Yeah.
That one is going to be tough when you start putting important sessions like a qualifying. Like, I haven't missed a qualifying since 2018, and I also haven't missed a race since 2018. But you start putting qualifyings, and stuff that I like to watch on Fridays. That's going to be, if it's at 6 p.m., that's going to be like 12 p.m. Like, I'm working. We all have jobs. Unfortunately, podcasting doesn't pay the bills quite yet. But I think that's going to be a little bit of a problem. But at the same time, qualifying won't be as important. And the 100-kilometer, like in the sprint race, it just messes. I just think it messes a little bit with the DNA of the sport. Like, it just.
Oh no, it definitely does. I don't think it should be something they do every race. But I think like what they're trying right now, 3 times a season. I don't know, maybe every once in a while, switch up where it is every year so that different fans get to see it.
Mm-hmm.
It does add that extra level of excitement that sometimes qualifying is lacking. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I don't think it.
I don't think it hinders the sport in any way.
I think it hinders the sport. Like, the concerns are the cost, obviously, but F1 just got around that, giving the teams an extra $500,000 for those 3 races.
I'm going to interrupt you 1 second. Someone commented on our Twitch, "This ain't Fortnite."
No, it is not. It is a Formula One.
Fortnite.
It is a Formula One podcast. This is not Fortnite. We're Formula One
not
only.
Fortnite.
It's pretty funny though. Going back to. So on Saturday, 100-kilometer sprint qualifying, that's a third of the race distance. It's just, if you win that race, especially because they're giving points, does it take away from the win on the Grand Prix on Sunday? You guys think?
No, I don't think it does. Only if it can. So I don't think it does, but it can, if that makes sense. If you look at it as a different way to qualify, and it's winning that sprint race is basically like setting yourself up on pole, then yes. Or then no, I don't think it takes away from it. But if you look at it as just like, well, there's 2 races this weekend, yeah, it does take away from the win. I just think that as fans, you have to separate it from the race itself, like the full length race, and look at it as a qualifying. And basically, and basically see it as, hey, if I win this race, it's pole. That's all it is. It's not a race when it's pole.
Yeah, and on their record, like their F1 record, like if Hamilton wins the sprint race and then wins the Grand Prix, it's not 2 wins on his record. If it's his like 102nd win, it only counts as a 1 win, which is nice. And it is 100 kilometers. Like they can do that without making a pit stop. So they just basically are going to turn the engines up and just kind of go for it. Turn the engines up. Actually, now that I say that, probably won't happen because it's just extra kilometers. But they're also doing an FP3 session, so they'll do a lot of qualifying trim, racing on practice on FP1 on Friday, some race sim for the sprint race on Saturday, and then each Saturday as well for race, collect data from that.
I mean, the idea of less practice, more exciting for us fans, and I don't think it's racing wise.
Yeah,
gonna change much in my opinion.
It's just gonna be so weird. Like there's something about
definitely.
There's something about F2. If you watch F2,
to be honest, I do watch a lot of F2. I do watch a lot of F2. For me, it won't be that different. But people who just watch F1 for the sake of watching F1, people who aren't avid fans just watch the weekend, like watch the Sunday. Mm-hmm. It'd be very confusing for them what happened on the Saturday.
Yeah. No, if you watch F2, then it won't be that different.
Yeah, I watch
the best drivers in the world instead of a feeder series.
Yeah, I watch F2 as well, but with F1, there's just really something special about waking up Sunday morning or Sunday afternoon and watching the cars like truly race, and it's a build up for an entire week. And I just think like waking up and there's like, okay, so Mercedes is really strong in the race pace, really strong in qualifying, but is the race pace going to hold up? Is Red Bull going to be able to do this?
So as a counter to that, here's my next question. Do you not think that the sprint race may create some like weekend rivalries that you wouldn't have seen before? Mm-hmm. For example, if someone fucks someone over in the sprint race, they come back the next day going, "Oh, now I want vengeance. Like I'm gonna work harder to get where I need to be just to specifically screw this guy over." Mm-hmm. Is that not a possibility that you get more action out of it because you now have a lead up race to the race where you build that rivalry or those rivalries?
I think we'll make. We've seen it before in F1. We have seen it with F2, F3, and we haven't in the world best driver with the world's best cars. Definitely shake things up a little bit, but I don't see it work. I don't see it being a sustainable thing for the future. In my opinion.
I think it'll be fun as a novelty. I don't think it's
exactly.
I think changing. There are pros and cons to it, but we're going to be focusing on the cons a little bit. The pros is it's more racing. Now you get 405 kilometers a weekend of racing, which I like.
If I'm being honest, sorry to interrupt you, but if I'm being honest, the cars we currently have, they're very hard to follow. Sprint race is going to be very hard on the drivers, because especially places, they're not doing it, but Silverstone normally has pretty good grip. For example, it's a rainy weekend. They don't have that great grip, and it's already so hard to follow these cars right now. The sprint race has just become a horrendous drive for the drivers, and just about who makes a mistake first is gonna go down the order.
Yeah, I think the who makes the mistake first, and if Bottas or Hamilton or anyone messes up in the qualifying, then they're gonna be on the back foot of the race. If you get a puncture or if you lose your front wing and you have to make a pit stop when no one else is making pit stops in the race, you're going to be on the back foot because there's no I can stop earlier and put hard tires on.
That's true.
It
also opens up more potential, wet races and exciting racing that you get out of it. Mm-hmm. There's so many pros and cons. We can go back and forth about. We can make a whole podcast on this, on the idea of sprint races.
One more con that I want
coming soon.
One more con that I want to bring up before we go, because we do need to wrap things up. We've transcended the hour mark. I was like, it'll be a short podcast today. But
we're at an hour 10. Yeah.
Midnight where I am.
It's midnight. The only other con is I think the data that the teams are going to get, will make the Sunday race a little bit more boring. Because you understand where the car is strung. You do all of these race simulations. You know how the tires operate under a 100-kilometer span. It's a third of the race distance. This isn't like a 10 lap, sprint race that's 50 kilometers. Well,
it might be a 10, 15 lap race depending on the track.
Yeah, like 15 maybe. But yeah, 15 around Spa.
Idea is amazing. I love.
Yeah, but it just might hamper the race on Sunday because the teams know how the car behaves under racing conditions, and then the teams just get to know the tracks a little bit more. So there'd be less mystery. Like, I'm not waking up Sunday morning thinking, okay, will Mercedes have this amazing race pace like they've had in qualifying, or will Max be able to catch up?
See, but I don't know if that's true.
I won't wonder that.
I don't know if that's true.
I just saw Mercedes have amazing race pace on Saturday.
Yeah, but that's the beautiful thing about this, like F1, is you never know what's going to happen, and it's so volatile because there are cars going 300 kilometers an hour an inch from each other, taking corners. Mm-hmm. You don't know. Sure. That's what I think is so beautiful about the sport. You never ever know what's going to happen in a race weekend. You sort of have an idea because that Lewis and Max are going to try to win, and then you've got Haas and Williams at the back of the pack. Sure, mm-hmm. but you have weekends like Monza 2020. Where you have
Pierre Gasly starting on
Pierre Gasly wins, and
Gasly is the winner.
So that it just opens up to more of that happening in my eyes, and I think that's so cool.
Well, I guess we'll wait and
we'll wait and see.
There's also other confusions. It will be figured out. We'll get more details soon. There's one question I raised is if you qualify on pole on Friday qualifying, is that the pole position or is the sprint race the pole position? I think it would be the qualifying on Friday, right?
Okay, no, the qualifying on Friday I feel like
that's the pole.
Yeah, no, your qualifying on Friday is your pole position is how you position yourself for the sprint race, I'm sure.
No, it is.
The finishing of the sprint race is how you would start. If you won the sprint race, that's pole.
I know. So say Mick Schumacher gets pole position on the Friday qualifying and no other races in the season. Will he have one pole position on his record? Or if he wins the sprint race, is that the pole position? I
think it's the Saturday. I think if you win the sprint race, that's the pole position for the weekend.
So that goes on your record as pole position?
I believe, or maybe you'd think so.
I think
it could be like a completely separate How do they do it in F2? I feel like it would be the same thing. It would be
F2 is the qualifying on the pole, so I think it'll be that.
Yeah.
But we will wait.
Friday decides the grid for the Saturday, and the Saturday decides the grid for the Sunday.
Yeah, that's exactly
I was talking about when it gets put on your record, but we will have to wait and see. Do you guys have anything else you would like to talk about before we sign off?
I am good. I just want to say follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter,
TikTok,
all at the
TikTok
Pod.
TikTok as well.
Go to and TikTok now. Yes, go to our website at www.undercutpod.ca. Make sure you go look at all of the pictures of Adam's winning smile and come check us out. We have new blog posts every week. We're always active on social media. And I don't know what the heck is happening with our audio right now, but
thank God it's at the end of the podcast.
Thank you for listening. We appreciate you. You guys are the reason for this, and we will see you guys next week.
Yes, sir.
Bye, everyone.
Ciao.
Bye.
And boom.
Yeah, it's my laptop. It's overheating.
Okay.
You can legit hear the background, but I seriously have to go now.
All right. See, all right. The stream, if you're watching the stream, thank you very much for watching. You just listened to our podcast. This podcast will be up on pod platforms tomorrow at 6 p.m. EST. So check us out. Thank you for listening to our debut Twitch and YouTube podcast.
Guys so much.
And thank you very much. All right. Bye, everyone. Bye, all of our Twitch followers. Mark, you gonna say bye?
Ciao.